Hi, Mrs. H here to talk about comprehension. Comprehension is the reason for reading. It is the understanding and interpretation of what is read. To be able to accurately understand written material, children must first be able to decode the word. They must then be able to make connections between what they have just read and what they already know. And lastly, they must think deeply about what they have read. Comprehension is an essential skill for reading success, as well as school success. In your packet of information, I've included a few sheets to help while you are reading with your children. So we have a before, while, and after reading sheet. We have reading comprehension tips for parents, and an additional list of some questions to ask your child as you read together. Take a look over those. Those will be very helpful in order to set your child up for success when it comes to developing comprehension skills. I have a few other ideas for you to do at home with your child. The first game is really fun. You're going to have the child choose a book of their choice, and then you're going to have this roll and retell sheet as well as a single dice. So you are going to have your child read the story, or if it's too difficult, you can read the story for your child. At the end of the story, you will have your child roll the dice, read the corresponding question, such as, what is the story mostly about? Who are the main characters? What does this, where does the story take place? When does the story take place? What happened at the beginning, middle, and end of the story? Or what questions do you have about the story? These will all these questions will help your child start to think about their reading or what has been read to them. So you can answer as many questions as you can, and then you can move on to another book and restart the process. The next activity will require a little bit more planning on your part, but it will pay off greatly. It's something that teachers often do when they're choosing storybooks to read with their students. So this is the book that I chose, Where the Wild Things Are. And so what you're going to do is before you read the book with your child, you are going to sit down and read it yourself. So read through it, think to yourself, what's the main idea? What are they trying to tell me here? And then I want you to start to get a notepad of Post-its with a pen, and I want you to start placing questions throughout the book. So these are going to be open-ended questions. They might focus on skills such as prediction, like what do you think will happen next? Where do you think Max is going? Just a variety of questions. You can also pull questions from the Comprehension Questions to Ask at Home sheet that I included in your packet. Put them throughout the book, and then invite your child to read. So you're going to go through, and every time you get to a Post-it, you'll stop and have a mini conversation about it. So this first one is, how do you think Max felt? So he was sent to bed without his supper, so probably pretty sad. He was probably feeling upset, probably a little bit hungry. So you can kind of elaborate on that question. So then you'll continue on until you get to the next little Post-it that you have already pre-placed. Where do you think Max is going? So you're going to pause throughout the book and have these little conversations about the book, getting your child thinking about what they're reading about and making connections. What is a wild rumpus? So that's a new vocab word possibly. And you can have your child look at the pictures and tell you what they think a wild rumpus might be. Here's another one. So what do you think Max is missing? See if your child can come up with some interesting responses. And then when you get just a few pages from the back, I want you to pause. I want you to close the book, and I want you to ask your, ask your child, say, now that we're nearing the end, how do you think this book is going to finish? Or how do you think this story is going to end? And see what they, see what they have to say. I think it's a fun way to get kids kind of thinking. And then at the end, you have had a very rich conversation about whichever book you chose for your child. A few more questions that you can ask at the end for follow-up questions would be, how did you feel at the end of this story? And did the author surprise you? And just a very open-ended question, what do you think about the book? So, and they can feel free to tell you, you know, very honestly how they feel. If they liked it, if they didn't like it, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. So, I hope these activities focusing on comprehension will be fun for you and your child. And remember, each component of literacy is important. Thanks for watching.